Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the starter motor, which is these 3 iron screws here, the 2 in the housing here and this 1 in the primary chain case. Don't forget this one. See how long it is. Well, here goes into the motor, and because I just want to clean the commutator, make sure it's dry and it's not got any carbon and that on it. If the commutator is a bit got a lot of carbon and that on it, it doesn't it won't run very well. So I'm going to take the starter motor off and give it a quick clean on the commutator. You don't normally have to do this, but I'm just doing it while I've got the opportunity. I just want to check because I think I got some oil on my brushes by mistake when I did the starter motor originally, and that's the worst thing because then it just like smears. It turns the brushes into like a almost like a crayon, and so it just smears off the carbon and just turns it into a big film on the commutator, and then it doesn't work properly. So I think I've cleaned all the oil off now, but I'm just doing it, just checking it. So those 3 screws are out. So from the other side I should just be able to lift it clear, and then I've just got to remove the main cable and we can just lift it out. It's very simple to get out. So I'll see if I can just lift it from this side. There we go, and it just lifts out. And then I've got the cable. I'll show you. There's I'll just take this round. So there's the main cable now, just to disconnect it, so then we can lift it away. So there's this main cable here under this boot that connects. That's the power to the starter motor, and so I'm just going to just have to disconnect that, and then we can simply lift the whole, and the whole motor comes away, which is very nice and easy. Okay, there's the starter motor out. Very simple to come out. I'm just going to undo these 2 long through bolts which hold it together, and then we'll be able to pull the whole unit apart. Right, that's the end cap off. Now, what we'll be careful of now is that the whole thing, if we don't want it to, and take that end off, the whole armature will slide out, and if that happens, then the brushes, I think we're going to have to take it out because it looks like it's a bit dirty. The commutator, if you can see, it's not shiny copper, it's quite dirty, so I could do with cleaning that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to slide it out, the whole armature, but in so doing these brushes will spring shut, and that makes putting the armature back in very difficult. But there is a little way I have of doing that. So what I'm going to do is, before, I think, make it easier on myself, allegedly, before I pull the armature out, I'm going to get some, just as the brushes are like half exposed, I'm going to get some cable ties and just clamp them open so that I can put the commutator back in without a load of problem. So I'll get some mini cable ties, put them around all 4 brushes, and then I can slide the commutator out. Okay, so I've got cable ties around all 4 brushes, so I can now slide the whole armature out without the brushes snapping shut. So hopefully I'll be able to slide the whole lot back in again when I'm done. Well, there's the commutator, obviously a bit black. I'm going to use some Scotch-Brite on that. Scotch Brite pad, and let's see, I think you can see that. Let's see what it looks like when we've finished polishing it up. Yeah, just mention you want to be careful when polishing a commutator, you don't want to scratch it. So Scotch Brite is like the perfect thing for it. You don't want to use sort of emery cloth, sandpaper, you just scratch it. Whereas this Scotch Brite is just coarse enough to get rid of the tarnishing, get rid of the stain, but without damaging the commutator. Okay, there we've polished the commutator. I think you can clearly see the difference, and I'm pleased about that I took the trouble to do it. The thing is, I converted my starter motor from 3 brush to 4 brush, and that means that it's a lot more powerful, together with larger actual cables, which also have more power. But even then, it's really only just about powerful enough to turn the engine over properly. So I want to give it every chance it can, and that's why I wanted to polish those up, just to make sure that the motor's as powerful as it possibly can be. Right, so what we're going to do is now is hopefully slide the armature back in without dislodging the brushes. There. Okay, we've got the there. It's back in place. Put that end plate back on, and put this end plate back on. Make sure that the plate with the brushes on, there we go, it's seated properly, sits right down. And then I better make sure I get the get these in the right place for the, so that we can put the right. So this end plate, it's got little lugs on it. And so those little lugs line up with the gaps, and it's like holes in the plate. Yeah, so they line up. So hopefully we've now got the screws in the right place, the bolts, and they will then line up hopefully and screw in. Yeah. Just tighten those bolts up and check that it's spinning freely, which it is, and then we'll just give it a bit of a clean up while it's might as well while it's off the bike, and get to it. Okay, we're ready to get it back on the bike. All done, and hopefully all done, hopefully giving us maximum power. Right, as you were, got the motor back out again because I've made this mistake that this end plate only goes in one way round. And of course 50-50 chance I didn't check it and it's gone in the wrong way round, so I've got to unscrew these 2 bolts, turn that round 180 degrees and then do it back up again. These little things set to try us. I couldn't work out why I couldn't get it to fit back on it wouldn't go back in. And I suddenly remembered, hang on, this end plate only goes back in one way, doesn't it? And of course, being the laws of motorcycle mechanics, it had to, there's a 50-50 chance, and of course it went in the wrong way round. Turn that around 180. Okay, take two. Right, we've put the new starter motor, well, not the new one, the clean starter motor in, turn the ignition on, take it off, run, the kill switch is off, so let's see how it spins over now. Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's a million times better than it was doing before I took it off. So definitely needed doing. And I think another thing that I've realised is we've had too much oil in the primary chain case, probably caused by a failed seal on the crank, and that meant that with too much oil, there's been oil going into the starter motor, getting past the seal, and I think that has caused the smearing on the commutator. So it's things like that you forget about, a knock-on effect. Too much oil, I didn't think it mattered that much, but I realised when I took that off there was lots of oil around, and I think that might be getting down and onto the commutator. So something to bear in mind, that some things can sometimes have a bit of a knock-on effect.